VEGAPUNK is missing. Hello One Piece enthusiasts, I'm the One Piece nerd, and today let's talk about One Piece chapter 1073. And so, another week begins with a One Piece chapter, and this time around, it didn't disappoint. Well, certain events in this chapter I did not expect at all, and I still don't have any idea of how or where this is going. The setup, the way it has been, it's sort of insane, but I just don't know what to say. Let's just begin. The chapter started where we left off, with Stasi attacking Kaku and basically making him faint. I don't even know, attacking him and then he faints or whatever. And the same is done with Lucci, but this time around it's with Sea Prism Stone. And obviously Stasi says that, using conventional method with both of them would not give her a win. And in fact, she is definitely working for Dr. VEGAPUNK. Now, before you get into details, make sure to like and subscribe. It helps the channel out a lot. Now that you have, let's begin. So, Stasi is definitely the mysterious person that VEGAPUNK was talking about. I feel like if it's anybody else, I would be surprised, because I feel like this was a last-ditch effort. There was almost no way that VEGAPUNK would be able to get out of the whole mess, even with the help of the Straw Hats in a quick succession amount of time, because Luffy's sort of worn out, Lucci's back to normal, Kaku is still at full strength. Yeah, they'll be defeated, but VEGAPUNK definitely knows there are other Marines coming in his way, for example Kizaru, and VEGAPUNK just cannot afford to let that time go. So I like the fact that Stasi is the secret member. She is completely out of ordinary. It was no one we expected, and I'm happy. I'm happy with what it turned out to be. So she reveals to be the mysterious ally, and with that being said, I feel like we can move on to Miss Buckingham, because the chapter sort of correlates, and I'm gonna go all over the place this chapter because so many things happened, I just can't keep track. So Stasi is Miss Buckingham, the clone of Miss Buckingham, and it's a parallel timeline where while Stasi is taking care of Dr. VEGAPUNK, Weevil and Miss Bakin ended up in Sphinx Island, and they ended up protecting the island from quote-unquote Marines, but I don't think they were Marines. They're actually pirates dressed as Marines, maybe bad Marines, who knows, but they attacked Whitebeard's island. They wanted Whitebeard's treasure, and obviously, the first time ever, I never thought I would say this, I like what Weevil did. I really liked what Weevil did. As much as I like to say that he might be a scam, he protected something which probably is not even his. But again, this could change. This could all change with one person, that is Dr. VEGAPUNK. Miss Buckin meets up with Marco, and the kids in the village tell Marco about what happened. Miss Buckingham shows up. She tells that, the Marines were defeated, and, well, Weevil protected it. He's Whitebeard's son after all. Marco doubts it, because I highly doubt that Whitebeard ever talked about anything that went on in Rock's crew, because the way he's built up the Whitebeard pirates, it's nowhere near as similar to whatever Rox did with the crew, because it was all messed up in Rox's era. So I don't think Whitebeard specifically mentioned anything to Marco, especially, or anyone, about whatever his adventures in the Rox Pirates. But, it'd be obvious why Marco would find it unbelievable to think that Whitebeard has a son, especially with the former Rox Pirate, and whoever this is, it looks nothing like him. But then again, I like to call her, I want to keep the identities separate, Stasi being the clone, and then Miss Buckingham being the present Stasi that we know as of now. So, I like to say, okay, Dr. VEGAPUNK could confirm him, and I like to say, yeah, maybe it is true. Maybe it's about time we got to know. If we're gonna know about the Rock's crew, I guess if there are interpersonal connections this way, whereas with Kaido Big Mom, and then Whitebeard and Stussy, and Rocks as a whole. Everything ties in together, and with Blackbeard and Garp almost facing off, and we'll know about the Rocks pirate story at some point, I feel like these contexts are sort of necessary. So with that being said, Weevil is captured. Weevil is captured after the first wave of Marines showed up, and no, wait, I'm wrong. I'm sorry, I made a mistake. The Marines that we got shown where Weevil just beat them up, they were actual Marines, but they were bad Marines who wanted treasure. And so they sent reinforcements. Of course, Admiral Ryokugu showed up, the least hype admiral exists in the One Piece. He captured Weevil, which probably goes to show that Weevil's probably not that strong. Like, if Luffy and Ryokugu faced off, it would have been a hard fight, but I'd like to think that Luffy wins. The way Ryokugu was scared off with Shanks' Conqueror's Haki, yeah, it wasn't a full-fledged fight, but I'd like to believe that Luffy is almost similar to that level of Conquerors. Maybe not that much, but Luffy has gear farm and whatnot. I'd like to say it's a mid-difficulty to a high-difficulty fight, but Luffy wins. Where Ryokugu shows up, defeats Weevil, and captures him, I feel like, yeah, Weevil's not that strong. So, props to Green Bull for actually doing something prevalent in the story. I think that bumped up a little bit of respect for whatever happened in Wano, but that's something. What do you guys think? Is Weevil as strong as we think he is? And did we actually know how much we were supposed to know about Ryokugu? Because, we never had proper fights, and even in this one, we didn't get to see the fight, but we know the result, we know the outcome, and, well, I like to think that Weevil's weaker, and no, it doesn't give me the amount of respect I need for Ryokugu to be considered a good admiral. Like, all the other admirals are infinitely better than who he is. And with that being said, we move on, where Dr. Vegapunk is needed everywhere. The Straw Hats have defeated CP0 agents, not Straw Hats, I guess Stussy. And, well, they're all prepared. Bonnie's ready, Straw Hats are ready, all the Vegapunks are ready. They want to move out. And then Marco needs Dr. Vegapunk to confirm about Weevil being the son of Whitebeard. And Vegapunk's missing. And at the same time, last reveal at the end of the chapter, we've got to know the name of a Gorosei. I think it was Saint J. Saturn. I cannot remember for the life of me. I'm so bad with names, I'm sorry. But I call him Saturn. Anyways, the fake name items are up. This guy's called Saturn. I call him Saturn. And this brings up a lot of mythology and a lot of things from folklore, mythology lore, and whatnot. People who were researching this can tell you guys better, but this is a huge reveal. We've never got to see a Gorosei step out of Pangaea Castle and actually be there on the seas with the world government, with the Marines, trying to meet someone especially like Vegapunk. He's here specifically for Vegapunk, which is insane, but Vegapunk is missing. Kizaru's there. We all know that the 5 Elder Stars are actually very strong. And with what I've heard with the mythology regarding Saturn, it feels as though he's got time controlling powers. Sort of insane of a power if you think about it. But if they're set up to be the final villains of One Piece, I guess it makes sense why they'd be super strong. And why Luffy has a long way to go even after beating Blackbeard. Because that's just the beginning of the end. Well, things are going haywire. Everyone needs Vegapunk. Vegapunk is missing. Straw Hats are almost done. But a twist at the right time. Marines are on their way. So many things at stake. Just don't know where the story would go. We're going to have further discussions regarding a few topics. It's another break week. A lot of things to go over, maybe very few things to go over. I'll add in a little bit of sprinkle of my own ideas. But if you guys enjoyed, make sure to like and subscribe. Have a great day, and peace.